It's time for a new challenge somewhere else. We've heard rumours that maybe this is what he was thinking, boys, but now...
Well, if anybody's surprised that he wants to leave, then I'm surprised that they're surprised.
Yeah,
I'm surprised.
You are surprised, aren't you?
Well, I'm not surprised he wants out of it. I mean, look, I think it's been relatively clear within his performances, although some of his stats are not bad.
Well, it's his best season stats-wise, isn't it, for United,
well,
with regards to goals and assists?
Yeah, stats don't always tell the whole story. We didn't see enough of Paul Pogba, but then again, he wasn't in the greatest of sides. And I think look, there's two things here. One, I think clearly there's a guy whose heart's not in this club and doesn't want to play. And the reason is, I think, one, he's had a lot of stake. Is two, the club doesn't seem to be going anywhere. And three, they've named a manager who isn't, and they've not made any signings. I don't look like they're going to be making any much headway, certainly early in the transfer market. And so therefore he's thinking, wow, are we going to track down Liverpool and Man City, or am I going to have another year of a couple of average signings and everybody says, oh, Paul Pogba's not playing well again? And I think, I'm just surmising, but I think that's probably the way he's looking at it.
Why are you surprised?
I always thought that Pogba went to Manchester United because he felt something in his heart for Manchester United.
Yeah, money.
Well, he could have got a lot of money a lot of other places as well. I genuinely believe that he went to United for the right reasons. And that's kind of why I kept thinking, if United show that they're willing to put players around him, then I thought he would maybe stay. But having listened to that, I mean, it sounds like there's absolutely no way this guy wants to be anywhere other than Manchester United, be away from Manchester United. But then when you think about it, where does that leave Manchester United?
In trouble.
They've got what? 3 world-class players. He's one of them. And he wants out the door. I mean, they're in an absolute shambles. Who's going to want to go to Man United? And by the way, do we actually know that Man United are going to let this guy go? We don't. If I'm Man United, I ain't letting him go anywhere.
Before we ask Gab that, do you mind him being this honest?
Look, no, not really. Because...
If they don't let him go, he's putting himself in the right spot.
Well, they're going to have an unhappy player, and he's only going to perform worse. But at the end of the day, I'm kind of with him and I'm not. The reason is I thought Angel Di Maria caved in too early, wanted to take the easy street to PSG when the chips were down. And in some sense, I think he's doing the same because the chips are down. But then again, that's arguably one of the reasons why he wants to get out, because he can't see... so I think there's a 50-50 blame here, in my opinion. I don't think he can see enough of structure behind the scenes to think, what age am I now? Europa League football, finishing 3rd, 4th, 5th in the Premier League. Is that really what I want to be doing? So you can look at that in a negative or a positive, or whatever way you want, but I think he sees that's where United are going to be, barring a miracle, and he thinks it's time to go. So you can say, well, he's not rolling his sleeves up, or the other side of the coin is, well, he's just had enough of bad management behind the scenes.
Do you have a problem, Stevie, with him being this honest?
No, I don't. I think for me, Paul Pogba has tried his best and given of his best whenever he could, to be honest. I think so, yeah. Every man in his dog has been on the guy's back, and it's been his fault. When they win, it's his fault, and when they lose, it's his fault as well. Unfortunately, there's been more losses than wins. The guy wasn't even in the team at the end with Mourinho, so he's probably just said, I've had enough of this. It doesn't matter what I do, good or bad, I get the blame. So that's probably half the reason why he wants out of there. But I genuinely think he's tried his best. He's just been in a rotten team, and he hasn't played particularly well at times, but when they've done well, it's been because of him.
Just briefly before we get Gab, I think whether you agree with him being honest or not, and we always promote honesty in players because it's, most of them are dead from the feet up. As I've said before, they won't give you a quote because they're frightened. Sometimes players need to keep the counsel. But I think whether you agree with him or not, I think quite clearly what he's saying here in a roundabout way is this football club are not, to him, going anywhere, and the structure and the people making the decisions are not good enough to take this club back to where they need to go and where they should be going. And I think that's his roundabout way of saying it.
Gab Marcotti joins us. Gab, What happens next?
Well, I was trying to think who the third world-class player at United was that Stevie alluded to, and I presume one of
De
the
Gea,
others is
Rashford,
De Gea,
and Pogba. Rashford would go to anybody. Rashford would get signed by any team on the planet.
Okay.
Thank you.
With
You may
Rashford, you
carry
have a
on.
contract situation. Yeah, with Rashford, you have a contract situation. With De Gea, you have a contract situation. And now this from Pogba. I mean, just to give you a sense of what's going on a macro level at United. Every indication I have is he likes being in Manchester and he likes his teammates and he likes being there. Equally, he's cognizant of the fact that a footballer's career isn't that long. And you look around, if two of those other three world-class players right now, I mean, I'm sure Rashford's going to stay, but are having contractual issues, and you guys went over the signing situation very eloquently, you're going to look around and see what other options are there. And if you have a situation, potentially Real Madrid, and Champions League football, which he's not going to get next season if he stays at Old Trafford, you wonder about that. And I think from United's perspective, you can look at this, okay, well, these words might actually spur the club into some positive action for a change. Or you can actually go the whole hog and say, well, United obviously don't need the money. They can demand the sun, the moon, and the stars for Paul Pogba. And then you can use those funds to go and properly strengthen if you're a half glass full kind of guy.
How much, Gab, will United, or Pogba indeed, will Pogba try and force United's hand about engineering some sort of move?
I don't think this is not going to be a Coutinho situation where all of a sudden he sends sick notes to demand a move. Pogba is extremely conscious of his image, and I know that some people don't like it, turns people off, but by the same token, I think they're going to try to have a grown-up conversation with the club and say, okay, look, these are the offers. I want to go. What do you want in return? Or blow me away. Tell me what your plans are for this club. Tell me who we're going to sign. Tell me what's going on here. And you know what? If you bring in 2, 3, 4 good players, and I feel positive about where we're going with Solskjaer, with whatever, then maybe he stays. I think that is the attitude. I certainly don't see him, going on strike or any kind of, or sending sick notes or any nonsense like that. It's just not really in his makeup. It is in Mino Raiola, his agent's makeup, but not Pogba's.